Hello, we're continuing our New York Comic Con coverage. I'm very sweaty and disheveled. I've been running around all day, and we've come to what appears to be like a dimly lit sex dungeon conference room with Kristen Hughey to talk about
sex dungeon with Kristen Hughey. Wait, what kind of video is this?
It's a Patreon exclusive. No, I'm kidding. We're here to talk about you being massive on Patreon and being a cosplay lady, and what it's like being a cosplay person at a Comic Con.
At a Comic Con? Oh, I mean,
because you're going to a boat, right? You're in charge of a boat party later, which is pretty rock star.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. I mean, that's so cool. It's such a good time too. I love doing that kind of stuff. But I mean, for me, cosplay is they're just my people. I got into this because they are.
My people.
I just got into it because I was into video games. More so than comics at the time, and I wanted to be one of the video game characters, so I decided, all right, well, let me go to this convention. I'm super shy, so let me put on this actual mask, and I'll just I'll blend in more, and actually you really you blend in, but you also stand out. It's hard to explain, but you get so many pictures taken of you, and so many people come over to you and talk to you about the things that you love, and for me that was just a really cool way to get out of my shell, so. Love it.
So it kind of helps you get out of your shell. Do you find that people that are very much in their shell approach you? And by that, do you get very awkward people sort of shuffle up to you and tap you?
All the time. And the thing is, those people are who made me grow so much as a person, so I can recognize that because that person was me before I started this. I wouldn't have approached anyone. They have so much courage to even come up to me to say hi. I would never go up to anyone. If I had wanted to meet someone, I would just see them from afar and that'd be good.
Hi, so how?
Exactly.
I think I did that once with Stanley. I think I zoomed in on the Snapchat repeatedly like this.
Just keep
miles to the other end. And he'll be like, oh, well, there he is. I think I've seen him. Hi.
That would be me.
How long do you spend on costumes from start to finish?
Totally depends. I mean, some are super easy. Sometimes I buy pieces too. I do a little bit of everything. It's kind of whatever's convenient, whatever I'm most comfortable in. So sometimes I buy pieces, and other times, one prop one time took me, it had to be about 100 hours because I missed an entire day of PAX East working on it because I was supposed to wear it at PAX East. Through the night, and I still didn't get it finished. Came home and still worked on it. Didn't wear it at the con at all. But so it just depends. It's kind of
What were you building?
My Jana staff. It's she has this cool ice staff. So I had cut up an entire plastic thing, and I was trying to puzzle piece it back together to make it look like this cool organic staff, and it just it took me forever. I mean, it happened and it was cool, but it took me forever.
Have you ever had any wardrobe malfunctions at cons, and how do you deal with them?
Nothing bad. I know some of my friends have some really good stories. I don't have any good stories like that.
Define good stories, because to me, a good story is embarrassing yourself, falling over and ripping something.
Oh, so
are you talking about good stories, but accidental nudity and
accidental vagina slippage? Yeah. One of my friends was wearing a latex costume, and she was taking pictures, and she was doing all these cool moves on the floor. She'll tell it. It's Ricky Lakoti. If she ever does a panel, I'll ask her because her story is the best. But yeah, she made sure no one got pictures. Everyone was really polite. Everyone deleted any picture that was close. But yeah, it was accidental. So now she always wears underwear under latex.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't just have that hanging out. That's wild.
You can't.
I mean, you can if you want, but that's very brave. It's ambitious.
Oh yes.
So
nothing like that for me.
Do you ever get a lot of? It's a recurring question I ask a lot of models because I find I'm interested in the culture of the fascination of seeing someone nude. Do you get a bombardment of requests for nude photos?
For nudity? Yes and no. It's kind of funny because when I started Patreon, I actually didn't do I do a sexy tier now, which is it's not nude. It's maybe implied here and there, but nothing like that. But it's funny because most of my people on Patreon who pledge to that tier would prefer to not see it. They like I think that's one of the reasons they like what I do is because it's kind of a mystery of what's even there. So, not a ton. I mean, there's trolls on Facebook that ask you on every single picture, but.
You see, that's a really interesting answer because that seems to be the consistent sort of honest answer from everyone that I ask is that the people that pledge stuff and the people that are you a genuine fan don't ever really ask for it. It's the random people that don't pledge and aren't interested that always seem very obsessed with kind of getting that.
Yep.
And I find it a bizarre phenomenon how there's a great game you can play online which is this a male or a female nipple, and it's just ultra zoomed in nipples, and it's
I
shit, I don't know.
I love that.
It's a good game. I highly recommend it if you're not at work. Go and find a very classy game, which is where you try and work out if it's men or women nipples. While we're obsessed with nipples, I don't know. Why do men have nipples? That's the thing I've never understood either.
Can I milk you?
I don't think so. I mean, you can try. They're big enough. You can fucking try. That's not bad aim, actually. That one was smart.
That one I got right on. That one I missed a little
miss aim. Terrifying.
What to do with that aim?
I'm worried that your Hannah's gonna come blowing through this door, being like, "What?"
Oh, then he would be like, "Oh, that's another Tuesday." Kristen Bill triggers trying to milk a guy.
Titty Tuesday.
Titty Tuesday.
Oh, goody. So, what makes you decide? How do you decide what you're going to attend? Because I would imagine as a cosplayer, you would want to attend as much as you can.
Everything.
But also that's impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible, and that's changed a lot for me over the years. When I first started, I started with Dragon Con, which is, the fun convention where you just go and you wear your costume throughout the night, you can drink if you want to, you party. And then I went to New York for my second one, and then after that, my audience started growing, and that's when I started getting invited as a guest. So as a guest, I mean, you gotta go where work is too. So the next couple of years, I mean, I went to 2-3 a month, so 2-3 weekends a month I'm traveling, so barely home. Sometimes I think one time I did 6 right in a row, and that was really crazy. But actually this year I decided to take a step back and just do the bigger ones because it's so insane to do it that way. So yeah, bigger ones, New York, Dragon Con, those are fun ones. MegaCon's great in Florida. I didn't get to go this year, but that was a good one.
I got a lot of time for
And then, of course, any international. Like, I would take anything international. Mexico is one of my favorite places to go, but...
Hint.
Hint.
Cheeky hint.
I've been there a lot.
What happens next after Patreon? So how long do you think that you'll be doing cosplay Patreon for, and then what do you think you'll do after that?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends. It kind of depends on what my audience wants, too. Because, I mean, they kind of run my Patreon. It's like, yeah, I'm the person that provides them the content, but I mean, we kind of work on it as a team. So I guess when that stops working, then we move on to something else. But I have thought about what else can I do? Maybe develop a product, an app, a game, anything like that. Even getting into voice acting, like who knows? I'm kind of just at a weird time where I'm not sure what I want to do.
A nice time though.
Oh,
I imagine it's pretty wild to be like,
so much fun.
What do you do for a job? Well, I get to dress up and take pictures. I'd like that fucking job.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if people were like, you know what they want? They want an overweight British guy that's extremely hairy to just do...
There's a market for that. I guarantee it. Yes, I guarantee it.
It's a market that I want no part of. I want no part of that market at all. What's it like having a relationship
with cosplay?
No, with a partner, as in like a real human relationship. Like what's it like? Because I would imagine for your partner it's difficult. I mean, maybe it's not, but if from my point of view, it would be extremely difficult to see the amount of male attention that you get, and I can imagine it's frustrating, not in a kind of like weird cuck way, but in I don't like people talking to my girlfriend like that, or my wife even, or I don't like the way that they they're just sleazy or whatever. I know that it goes back to that whole thing of most of your patrons aren't like that, but it still must be difficult seeing, especially guys at cons and stuff like that are over the line and...
Yeah, and luckily at cons, I have to say, I haven't had any bad experience that sticks out in my mind. No one really gets out of hand, so people are really polite. It's the trolls online that are worse. But, so for my relationship, I mean, it was definitely a growing experience for the two of us. We've been doing it for, 4 or 5 years now. So at first it was kind of like, yeah, I guess there was a little more of, it's not even jealousy. It was more of like the sharing my time. Because I would have to, I'd be giving them all of my attention. And so it's kind of like you just have to make sure that your partner gets more than that. More attention. They get to, we do it together too. He is my handler. He does my photography sometimes, helps me with my videos, ships my print orders. So I mean, we're a team too. So now he's the one that's kind of like, oh, you definitely need to like pop your booty a little more.
Oh my God. What a guy! I should point out, he's literally just outside, and I was like, oh, do you want to come with me? It's like, no, it's fine.
It's good.
Don't worry about it. And you were like, I need to use a loo, and I was like, I don't want to follow you to the toilet. He's like, you won't be the first one, it's fine. Just go. I was like, okay. I'm just going to wait in this room like an awkward British person until you arrive, and we're going to sit down and have a fine chat.
You are not awkward at all, trust me.
Well, I appreciate that. I did have another question, and it was about... Oh my God, my brain's gone. You're going to see a cut in a minute. Get ready. 1. And back. You don't have to answer this question.
Okay.
Where do you think, on the scale... Okay, firstly, do you consider yourself a feminist?
A feminist?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the definition of feminist.
See, that was my follow-up question.
Okay.
Where, on the scale of feminism, do you sit in terms of cosplay? Because some people would argue that it is expressing your body, and some people would argue that you are being over-sexualized and people are ogling you for your body, kind of thing. I think that,
well, to me, that second part, when you say that people are ogling you or oogling you, that's you're assuming what people are doing, and that's not okay. You know, you're already doing that, and where am I even going to go with this? This is a hard question for me to answer, like to form my words.
Right.
For me, it is empowering to feel sexy and do what I want with my body, and I think that that's, to me, what feminism is. It's like, I can do, this is my body. Like, you don't own it. Just because you don't like it, you don't own it. Just because that person's oogling me, he doesn't own it. I'm not doing it for him, I'm doing it for me. So, to me, that's, to be able to make that choice is...
It's an empowerment.
Yeah, it's empowering. It is.
Do you get a lot? Have you had any flack from people? Has anyone ever said anything to you online like, you know,
all the time.
You shouldn't sell your body like this.
All the
You
time.
can do better. Kind
All
of
the time.
And if you had advice to other people that were in that situation, but that are just starting out, people that are coming up against the same roadblocks, what would you sort of suggest as a good way around that?
It's honestly just the you do you thing. Because if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't. You know, if that makes you uncomfortable, do not do it. But if that does make you comfortable, if you love it, if you're confident, go for it. Like, I don't care what you do, but just do what you want to do.
It's nice. It's a nice sentiment. Have you ever wanted to do a particular kind of shoot and never been able to do it for location or financial or logistical reasons? And what was it?
Oh my goodness, like everything. When I think of characters that I want to do, and bigger builds that I haven't been able to do because of traveling so much, I always think of where they would be. Where would the realest location be to shoot those pictures? So I don't know, like specifically, I can't think of anything like that, but I love traveling. And when you can put it together with costuming and art, you know, to create a beautiful picture, hell yeah, I'm there.
I feel like Pornhub had the brilliant idea of shooting a porno in space. I'm ready for the first cosplay in space. Zero G.
Zero gravity jizz. It would just be
not like
everywhere.
that. Like zero G I mean, yes, in the Pornhub idea. But I mean, like, someone getting in a plane and doing the upside down thing, and then someone doing like an astronaut, like Samus cosplay or something,
That would
where
be cool.
they're like floating around in zero G. I'd pay that. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would do that.
Or skydiving.
Not the porn part. Though.
No.
That's not for me. If it's for you, that's totally fine. Again, you do you, but...
You basically like, hey, if you're into like designer upside down space jizz sex, more power to you.
I mean, I guarantee there's a market for that too. I'd probably watch that actually. I'm probably that market. I wouldn't do it, but I would watch it.
I mean, wouldn't everyone?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to.
The first ejaculate in space?
Oh, that's definitely not the first. The first video.
The first viewable, legal ejaculate in space. You haven't just hacked an astronaut's phone sitting there. To be fair, would you want any of the astronauts that we've got up there? Be like, yeah, sure, I'd love to look at your...
I mean, they're an astronaut, so I think that's sexy. So.
I mean, sure, but what was the really wholesome, nice one with the moustache?
I don't remember.
He was American and he answered loads of nice questions. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I wouldn't want to see.
You think he's wholesome?
What do you do? Because you have to strap yourself in when you go to the toilet. Where do you put it in a sock? Like do you tissue?
No, you totally would just let it go. I mean, that you'd have to watch that. You'd have to see what happens, right?
Oh, did it just get darker in here? Did I just imagine that?
I think it did.
Maybe we're being told to fuck off. This might be a subtle cue to leave.
We're talking about porn. The lights are dimming. Things are getting weird.
Before this gets weird and my wife blows through a door and is like, I heard a bizarre conversation going on and I'm not happy about this. We're going to end this interview. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And long may your reign of Patreon continue.
Thank you.
And or your wonderful marriage.
Oh, of course.
Because he's ace. He's
He is. Nah, don't tell him I said that. Like, definitely don't post that part. But he's pretty awesome. I couldn't do without him. So.
Amazing.